welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are diving into sparkle and shimmer and seeing what's out there because some of my favorite shadows from YesStyle, from Holika, are getting really difficult to find. Like, they're no longer on the site. There's maybe one color available. You guys have heard me talk about Moon Flesh, aka Moon Flash, so much, and it makes me so sad that these are, you know, getting discontinued or eventually selling out. I don't know if these were like limited edition. You know, they were just this diamond in the rough that I happened to find on YesStyle. And so when they reached out and gave me a credit to shop on the site, I made it my mission that I was going to get a bunch of single pot eyeshadows and see what was the sparkliest, what compared, and what other beautiful sparkles were on the site that maybe I hadn't found, and I could share those with you guys. So I picked up tons of potted single shadows for us to explore together. I thought we could swatch them in detail. I'm probably gonna rank them in this video. I haven't done it yet. There are some really promising things in here, so I'm excited to share them with you guys. And yeah, that's just kind of the way it goes. Sometimes your fave makeup gets discontinued and it's really hard to talk about it and recommend it. Even if I love it, you know, I understand that people would want to maybe, I don't know, try it out if it's that good. And so I'm excited to hopefully find some new faves in here. I do have a code with YesStyle. I will leave it down below and on the screen. It's not monetarily affiliated, but if you want to shop it, you can save some money. More details will be down below with that. But yeah, let's just get into swatching these and looking at them. They are so beautiful. They're so sparkly. Hopefully just on an aesthetic level of looking at the sparkles, we can appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into swatching these shadows. All right, guys, don't mind my dirty background. My board is getting stained, but these are all the shadows that I have. So I have my Holika ones that you guys already know I love, but these are all the new ones. So many great new shadows to kind of look at and swatch. So let's get started on them. I guess let's do the oldies first, so we know what we're kind of looking and hoping for, you know what I mean? What we're hoping to find some similarities to. So if you guys don't know, these are those Holika, like the flash foil shimmers, and I am obsessed with these. I wish that these were still available. I really tried to like scour and it's just hard to find them. So I'm not sure if they're completely gone, but if you can snag them, I mean, you know, at this point, I do suggest it. Look at these beauties. Look at Moon Flesh. It's Moon Flash, but y'all know it's Moon Flesh. I mean, nothing compares. I think these are one of the reasons I love them so much is because they're the perfect mix of like sparkly and semi-pigmented. So they have the pigment, they're not completely sheer, but they are just beyond sparkly. This one's so good. If you do it sheared out, it's like a wet look. That one's called Star Flash. This is Champagne Flash, probably my least favorite one, honestly. This one, you know, if you really don't blend it out, can look a little chunky and not in the best way, but it's beautiful still. And then this one is called Rose Flash, and this one's just like a red kind of copper. Oh, so these are just, I mean, next level amazing. I'm so sad. They're like the perfect neutral, like all of them are so neutral, so good. Okay, anyway, I know that these are not available, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, move them off the screen slowly. But they are stunning, and so that's what I was hoping to find, at least, you know, sparkle-wise in these shadows. So, I mean, the look I did today, I think is really stunning. Oh my gosh, me trying to get the sparkles off just makes it look like I'm Edward. Like, seriously. I'm gonna do this one first because I feel like it's one of the most similar to what is in the Holika ones. This one is Visualistic Shadow is what it says. Visualistic Shadow. I will have everything down below and I'll have it in the order I put it up so that way you don't have to worry, but this one is so pretty. This is a powdery texture. It is definitely shimmery. It almost has like a peachiness to it. So that's it there. Stunning shadow. It's not as sparkly or textured, I guess, like bigger chunks, but I think it's so pretty. I've worn this on the eyes already too, so I can tell you that it does look really nice on the eyes. And I think that this is a pretty good one. Like, it's pretty up there. It's a little more powdery in texture, so it's a little bit thinner, but I feel like, you know, that same amount of like, it has the sparkle, but it has the pigment also is definitely there with this one, and I think it's a unique shade to the ones that I have. So Very happy with this one. It's top tier. It's top tier over on the YesStyle site. So this one's a pretty damn good one. I got a couple of these Air Mousse shadows. I believe these are from ETUDE House, and this one's Cherry Blossom Popcorn. And this one is called Dazzling Beige. Cherry Blossom Popcorn, but like, I kind of love that. Okay, so these definitely have like, let's see if you can see this. They have like that kind of squeezy texture, so you can see my little fingy prints in there. So this one's more of a pink. You can see it there. So this is more like a topper or almost like a wet look shadow. Like it doesn't really have the pigment to it. It's more like topper style. So it has a lot of shimmer actually, but it's not giving a ton of pigment. This one, the Dazzling Beige, look at that. Oh, so pretty. Let's see what this one's like. Oh, wow. Okay. This one has a lot more pigment. This one, I like the Dazzling Beige a lot more actually. It's reminding me of like a ColourPop shadow. The sparkle in here really stands out against the base. It's like a light gold and it really looks like glitter. It's not like real glitter, but it looks like it. It's very, very pretty. I definitely suggest this one over the Cherry Blossom, unless you really want that color, but I just feel like it's just not as good. It wasn't as wet either. So I am going to try to like line them up on the side so I can tell you how I suggest them as we swatch. I mean, this just makes me so happy. This is like the best video to me, like swatching sparkles. Are you kidding me? Next, this is the Biba Jewel Shadow in Starry Night. So this one is a champagne color, and this texturally is definitely hard, and it has a little bit of that base there, but I have swatched this and I've used it. This gives me a little bit more of like, I guess, a wet look as well. It doesn't have a ton of base, so you can see it there. It's sparkly for sure, but there's something about it that's not as stunning as you'd like hope. Like I feel like in the pot, it looks prettier, or it looks like it's gonna be like a moon dust shadow, and I just don't feel like it's quite there. It's beautiful. Okay, it is really pretty. I'm just trying to say that I feel like this is going to fall in the middle of these shadows, I guess, which, you know, is still high, I think, because I'm not going to lie, I think I picked out some good ones, but I still think that last one I would pick over this. So that's Starry Night from Biba. This next one has like the cutest packaging. This is called Dewy Glossy Eyes. It's from MISSHA and it's the shade Honey Roast, I believe. I just really love it. This is another one that's cream actually. And I used this on my inner corner today for the look you'll see later. And I actually think it looks so beautiful on the inner corner, and it doesn't look like, you know, anything too extraordinary here, but on the inner corner, it's beautiful. So honestly, all of these as like one shadow looks tapped over maybe a sticky base, I think is gonna be so pretty, give you like a really sparkly, effortless look if that's what you're looking for. I honestly feel like all of these will do that for you. I think some that aren't as sparkly, maybe, you know, if you're putting them over a bunch of matte shadows, might not shine as much as, you know, over just skin, but I really liked this for the inner corner, and I think that's where it will like shine the best. I have another Biba shadow. This one is the shade Cozy Dia. It's 01, the Cashmere shadow. And so that is what it looks like. Really beautiful. There were so many in these kind of like champagne type shades. I could have went with other ones, but I kind of wanted to get a feel first. I feel like champagne shades are the ones that, you know, tend to be pretty sparkly if there's going to be a sparkly shade, and then I could go from there. So this, okay, this is from Biba. Okay, Starry Night. This is from Biba. They're like the same. I'm trying to be like, which one is better? This one's a little more cool toned. The other one's like more golden, I guess. They're like the same shadow. I also feel like they're a similar quality, so I don't know, guys. I think either one. They're kind of tied to me. I guess I like this one. I don't know. The packaging on this one's cooler. Okay, the packaging is what's settling that one for me. Because they're so similar. Next, let's talk about this Veil Breeze, because I already know this is like the worst one. So this is it on the inside. It is one of those kind of creams again, but this one's just chalky, man. Like, you can blend it out, sure, but I don't know. I don't love the flip on it. I know it looks good. In the swatch, it looks like, what are you talking about? It's so shiny and so beautiful. Like, it is really shiny and beautiful in the swatch. I get that, but you really have to blend it out. If you're going to get this one, just know that you'll blend it. You have to really buff it, and then you can get this high shine. But if you don't, it kind of stays, I don't know, a little powdery looking, even though it's a cream. So I don't know. To me, this one was just like, color-wise, not my favorite. It's like this golden to pink, and I don't know, it wasn't the best. So I already know that one's gonna be like at the bottom for me. I picked up 2 of these Full Shot Fullstone glitter shadows. These are from the brand ETUDE. Look at that back. Ooh, yeah. Look at that hollow, man. I'm obsessed with holographic. This one is called Rent the Sun, and these are traditional powders, but just very sparkly. And these are like semi-sheer, so you can build them up. I think they're really beautiful on the eye. I have actually used these already as well, but I do think that, again, they're just gonna look the best if you're just putting them on skin. There's something about that just looks, I think, the freshest and really makes them shine. Whereas something about once you put on some matte, like if you get in there, you put your base down, you get in there and put all these mattes in the crease and the transition, and then you go in with this, I just feel like it has nothing to stick to. You know, it's convoluted and it just doesn't look as good. So this is really stunning. I think these are really great, and they remind me of kind of like the Moon Dust formula. This one's not flipping or anything. It just has like a kind of golden bronze sparkle to it, but I think it's really stunning, and I love the packaging. I think it's beautiful. This other shade I believe is called Rising. I don't love this one as much. It doesn't have as much of a base, and so I don't know. It doesn't even seem to like, it's not as smooth necessarily either. I mean, it's a beautiful color. So if this is the color you're drawn to, I think you're probably still gonna really love it. But I do think that the other one just has maybe a little bit of an easier formula to work with. But they're definitely stunning shimmery shades. And I think next time I'm on the site and I'm shopping around, I'll probably look up a few more colors, see if there's some special hidden gems in the color range, because both of these are really beautiful. And again, I mean, these are the types of shadows I wish were in palettes more and stuff like that. So it's sometimes fun to have these just as singles, so you can bring them with a palette you might have. You have everything you might need, even though, again, I do like these alone. I think that's how they shine the most, just saying. I feel like they honestly look so classy too. I only have 3 more left to look at. This is the one I used today. This is Shine Fix Eyes. The color is number 2, and this is the most golden out of everything. In here, it's almost like a cream, but it's like a loose kind of pigment too, but it's creamy. I don't know how to explain it, and it is so pretty. I feel like this is the closest to the Moon Flash in formula, I guess. This is a little smoother, maybe a little more dimethicone, but absolutely stunning. And I'm excited to go look for more colors, because if I can find that taupey, you know, purpley neutral, then boom, like I'm gonna get it. I definitely would explore more of these. I think it's just so stunning, so sparkly, but it does have the pigment as well. And my eye look today, stunning. So I'm very, very happy with this. It's, you know, one of those ones with the stopper, and it's in the pot, and I mean, look at it in there. It's like a little golden pot of goodness. Oh, it's so good. Okay, love that. I really had so much fun too shopping. Some of these took a while to get here. Whenever I shop on YesStyle, I don't let it being shipped to me within a couple days stop me from, or the ones that are going to be here in 21 days, like they tell you how long it might take to ship. If I want it, I usually just get the one, even if it's going to take a while. So I'm very happy. Ooh, these are also very wet, like a wet, creamy formula. These are from VDL, so I have 2 different ones. Let me show you them next to each other. So there's like a creamy pearl, and then this one's more like a coppery, warm shade. Oh yeah, they're both kind of those semi-pressed, semi-loose, but like dimethicone-y, sparkly shades. Honestly, these are not as good. I don't know if you can tell here. This one is just so much more sparkly and shiny. Look at that shine. And this one just doesn't quite get it. It just doesn't quite get as shiny. It's more like glitter is suspended in a base, and this is like the whole thing is glittery and it's all of it. The base and the glitter are the same. I hope that made sense. These are a little bit more like they're sparkle suspended in a base color. They're still beautiful, do not get me wrong. Like, they're stunning still. I'm just saying what makes this one extra special is that the base is the shimmer. The base is the shimmer. So I still think these are solid though overall. I think the packaging's extra nice as well. It's like kind of big, maybe a little bulky, but you know, it's like substantial and that's kind of nice. I think VDL might be a little expensive though. I'll try to have the prices next to them down below. I know with YesStyle sometimes prices fluctuate, but I mean, those ones are pretty good. So it's gonna be hard to decide where they should go. Okay, I think I figured out my ranking, so I'm gonna line them all up and then I'll let you know why I put what I put, where I put it. Okay, number 1, Shine Fix. Literally wanna go on the site right now and see what else they have. The shine in this is stunning. I also really do like the powder shadow, the visualistic one. So if you want more of like a powder and you don't want a cream, this is one of the only ones that doesn't have kind of a creamy texture to it. I should swatch them as I go, and I'll swatch them in order so you can see them. Okay, so this one is the Shine Fix. I mean, so good. It's like you could still make it look like a wet shadow, but it still has that pigment. I love that. Then we have the visualistic one, similar-ish color. This one's more golden actually, but there's something about that one that I think is just stunning and quality. Then this one is that Dazzling Beige, and this one looks like it has, again, like the pieces of glitter almost in it. Next, I put the VDL one in, this one in the warm color. It's like an interesting color, and I do think it's nice, even though, you know, it just doesn't compare to that one, but it's still a really nice one. Because I've used this, even though this, you know, the shine on this one maybe isn't as sparkly as the others, I still think if you want something a little more subtle, and also the pieces of particles in here are a little bit smaller, I think you'll still really like this one. Then we have the powder shadow. I mean, this one and the VDL are kind of tied. They're very similar colors. If you like a powder over a cream, then you would like this. Like, I'd get this one over the VDL. And this one almost has like a purple shimmer in it too. It's very stunning, but I do think there's something about that cream formula that kind of puts the other one over the edge for me and my preferences. We have the other full shot. This one in that, I think it's the Rising color, a nice pinky color. I just feel like I have to build that one up a little bit more. Has a little bit of hard pan, and the other one just doesn't seem to have that as much. Then the other VDL, if you want like a pearly color, this is the only more white pearl that I have here. And super, super sparkly. It just has that white base. So depending on what you want, sometimes this looks a little stark on me. So I go with something with more like a beigey base, but still really pretty, lots of sparkle. Next, the first Beige shadow that we swatched. These, I mean, they're all really good. I mean, I feel like, you know, having them in here like this makes it seem like some of them are bad, and none of them are bad. It's just like, you know, if I'm trying to really help you out. This one's more of like a golden color. The next Beige shadow is the same color. No, this one is more cool toned. I can see that now, having them like right next to each other, actually swatched. You can see the difference. This one's more pinky champagne. This is golden champagne. Then we have that other like pink shadow that I didn't really like. And like, it's okay, but definitely not a stunner. Like, out of everything here, everything else beats it, like easy. And then same with this, not a fan. Not a fan of this one. Like, it's fine, but it just doesn't compete with like the first half of my arm. It really doesn't. So here we are for some closer up swatches. I'm hoping you can see the shine and sparkle. I'm telling you, I just don't even feel like it's doing it justice. but I think this shadow is just, ooh, so good. So good. I mean, they're all such similar colors. There's definitely a lot of like those champagne type shades and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited to, now that I've like tried a lot of brands to get in there. I can zoom us in a little. And now that I can like know which brands I feel like are better, I can kind of explore the shade range and see if there's some other winners, some darker shades, some like maybe blue brown type stuff going on. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the shadows. Does anything compare to this yet? No, not yet. I feel like even these are like the top 3. These ones, you know? I feel like I got some maybe dupes or similar shades to these ones though. But still, I'm on the lookout for more of that moon flash because, I mean, just even the shade alone on this one is so unique. And I think that's what made it so amazing. But I have to say the shine fix, that's what I need to get into. That's what I need to get into. So anyway, hope you enjoyed seeing all the sparkles, you guys. Oh my gosh, so much fun. And I hope you enjoy the look. So let's get into that. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I feel like I'm gonna do a lot of just doing and maybe a little less talking than normal for this tutorial. But first I do wanna prime my lids. I'm gonna use this new thing from, the name isn't on here. I just ordered some cream shadows from this brand. I'll have it down below, but this is like a peachy, shimmery cream eyeshadow, but it does lock down in place. So I'm gonna use it as a base today. Still haven't decided which one I want to use. I used this in a look more recently and it was super pretty. So I'll probably try something I haven't used before. I feel like something like this would look really good with my outfit today because it's kind of golden bronze. This is the Shine Fix Eyes in number 2. And then maybe I can use this on the inner corner. I think that's what I'll do. I'm gonna go in with this in the outer corner only. And I think it'll work out because it's a shimmery brown. I'm just placing this in the outer corner. This color is just from a random Wander Beauty palette. I think I'm gonna use this sparkly one on my brow bone, and I'm gonna actually start using it now before I go in because sometimes brow bones are easier to kind of blend out if you lay them down first. So I'm just going to tap that into my brow bone, super sparkly, like really not much base on it, which is what I was hoping for. Now I'm gonna go in with that golden shade. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, and then this is gonna go on the lid and I'm gonna blend it back into that color we laid down. And this is definitely a different shade than what's on my brow bone. I'm just taking that initial brush we used and with no extra product, I'm just kind of blending out the edges. It's really a simple look with a lot of sparkle. And then last, I want to take the Dewy Glossy Eyes and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. All right, I think I'm gonna add some liner. I don't want anything too dark, so I'm just gonna go with my standby, that Pixie one. I use this all of the time. It is like what I use. And then just to make sure the bottom lash line and top lash line match up, I'm taking a little bit more of that brown just in the very outer corner and matching it up with the top. All right, guys, so here is the final look. Super just easy, everyday kind of golden bronze look. All of the shadows that I use from YesStyle are super sparkly in their own ways. So I thought this worked really well though for like an inner corner. I think that's like probably what that's best for. This one was definitely a great one for the lid. I love that it's a little more sheer. I think it'd look really pretty just on its own. I think a lot of these type of pots are really simple, easy one shadow look. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed just a little tutorial. I tried to give as many of these as I could for singles week, but yeah. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope looking at all the different swatches from all the different brands was helpful. I know sometimes, at least for me, it can be kind of confusing on there, like what you're gonna actually get, how sparkly actually is it. There were definitely some really great options over on YesStyle, and I'm so glad that I can have something other than the Holika foil shadows, although, I mean, does anything beat them? I'm not sure. Like, they're so good, but since they're not as available, I wanted to have other options on YesStyle to like shout out and talk about. So yeah, let me know if you've tried any of these, what your thoughts are. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're enjoying singles week. And other than that, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.